My name is Omar Hussein. I'm a theater education major here at Texas A&M University Commerce, and welcome to my presentation. In theater, it's an art form that heavily relies on your senses, and students who struggle with hearing may or may not be able to fully participate in class. A great example of assistive technology in this case is the hearing aid. They enhance sounds to make them louder and clear. And there are three parts: the microphone, the amplifier, and the speaker. Sounds enter the device and then are made louder so the individual can then hear. And thanks to this, students will be able to participate in class, whether or not they have a hearing disability. Now, my experience with theater is I was involved with theater at the age of 13, and I've had experiences with community theaters, auditioning a couple times until I moved on to high school, where then I competed in UIL one act competitions all 4 years. I'm classically trained in Meisner acting theory, stage combat, linguistics, and dialects. I'm also a novice set and sound designer. Now, my hobbies outside of theaters include sports. I'm an avid Mavericks and Dallas Cowboys fan. I rep Dallas heart and soul. I love to sing, dance, I write poetry, and I'm a novice piano player. My philosophy in the classroom is tech is the greatest tool we have in education, and why not use it? In any aspect of life, it's an adaptive form that can just fit any individual's needs. So why not incorporate this tech so every single one of our students can have the increased learning that we strive for in everyday life? Now, my idea of the most important benefit of technology in the classroom is increased attention rate. Students have shown studies that, after watching a presentation, they will have a greater understanding of the subject material rather than just listening to their teacher lecture for an hour and 15 minutes. Focus is increased because young students enjoy using technology, and if they're interested, they're engaged and ready to learn. Also, technology offers the ability for a student to move at their own pace, and that is so important because we have so many different students with so many different learning styles, and we can't afford to leave anybody behind. Now, on my favorite and I feel the most beneficial learning and teaching theory is constructivism, and I will apply this in the classroom for sure. Constructivism is a theory of knowledge that argues that a human generates knowledge and meaning from a combination of observation and experience. And this just works with theater because a lot of theater is watching and then doing. And of course, there's simplistic things such as notes or definitions, but in case of acting or an artistic design, it's very important for the students to think for themselves, observe from another viewpoint, and then move on from there. Now, I've learned a couple of teaching methods throughout the semester, but a lot of them incorporate these styles, just use of observation, offering examples, making students work together in groups so they can learn and teach each other, and invoking students to think rather just from me just spoon feeding information to them. If they think, they can analyze and they can incorporate their ideas and new information in everyday life, and then it becomes real knowledge. I believe tech contains the culture of a school because technology is ever changing and there's always going to be new and better ways to learn. And older methods will be obsolete, and this will kind of force schools in a way to change the way their students learn. Now, and technology has a lot of effects on our schools, but it also has effects on our students. Technology is greatly used for projects, communication, and projecting ideas, and it's a big part of the way the world works. When classrooms use technology in their curriculum, they're not just teaching them how to use it. These students are learning communication, teamwork, presentational skills, and they'll just understand an idea of how the world works around them. So when they do leave school, they'll already have the skills developed in order for them to succeed. Now, how I plan to apply technology into my lesson plans is in a variety of ways. I'll have students download apps to practice their designs. Of course, I'll make them go to the old pen and paper because, there's only one way to do some things. But through the app, they'll be able to express their ideas in a clean, formatted way and maybe make a rough draft so they can develop their ideas further. I'll assign online assignments in order to give individual and private critiques of their understanding. And I'll use a projector, of course, because my classroom most likely will be a theatrical space. It'll be wide, and I want all my students to be able to see the slideshows and presentations I might prepare for them. This is a list of my references, and I appreciate you guys listening to my presentation, and thank you for listening.